to the best vacation ever.
On a luxury yacht, a group of friends is enjoying their vacation in the middle of the vast ocean. Golden sun, blue sea, the air is filled with laughter and carelessness. In the heart of the vast Pacific Ocean, life seems but a tiny dot. But for them, it is a complete paradise. They do not yet know that this paradise is about to become hell. The sky suddenly darkens, a strange storm descends with breathtaking speed. Vicious waves rise, and an immense force, not from the storm, slams into the side of the yacht. Nature has its own ways of reminding humanity of its smallness. But this is not nature's wrath. This is a hunt.
Get down! Look out!
Help us! We're going under!
Help me! Is anyone there?
The yacht disintegrates. In the chaos, people cling to anything that floats, screaming for each other over the roar of the storm and the crashing waves. As the ship, their symbol of safety, is swallowed by the ocean, hope begins to sink as well. Now, they are just drifting fragments of life. The storm dissipates as quickly as it arrived. Dawn reveals a horrific sight. Only floating debris remains. And the ocean is deathly silent. The friends huddle together on a large piece of wreckage, shivering from cold and fear. After the fury comes the silence. But this silence brings no peace. It is the silence of a waiting predator. A gigantic dorsal fin, glossy black and unlike any sharks, slices through the water's surface, gliding straight towards them. The silence is broken by the sound of parting water. The ocean is never truly empty. Beneath its peaceful facade lies an ancient world where primeval rulers still reign. And they have been awakened. The monster surfaces. It is a gigantic marine reptile, like a cross between a mosasaurus and a crocodile, with glossy black scales and cold, intelligent eyes. It circles the wreckage, observing them. This is not an animal hunting on instinct. In its ancient eyes, there is a malevolent curiosity. It is sizing up its prey. The group huddles together in the center of the wreckage. Paralyzed by fear, the monster continues to circle, occasionally nudging the wreckage with its snout, like a cat toying with a mouse. The worst fear is not a swift attack, but the waiting, a psychological game orchestrated by an intelligence not of this world.
Oh my god, look at the size of it! Ah! It's coming right
The
for us.
monster
Hold on.
suddenly changes tactics. It lunges forward, taking a massive bite out of the wreckage, shattering it into smaller pieces. Everyone is thrown into the water. The game is over. The real hunt begins. Now, there is nowhere left to hide. They are in its domain. In the panic, one of the group, Kai, who has sailing experience, spots a larger, mostly intact shipping container floating nearby. He yells, urging everyone to swim towards it. In the most desperate moments, the instinct for survival and leadership emerges. A glimmer of hope, however fragile, is a weapon. As night falls, they have managed to climb onto the top of the container. Exhausted, but the horror is not over. From the deep water, multiple pairs of glowing eyes begin to appear. Surrounding them, the first monster was just a scout. The darkness does not hide the danger. It reveals its true scale. They did not trespass into one monster's territory. They have stumbled into a kingdom of them. The glowing eyes do not belong to the first monster. Dozens of smaller, more agile creatures, like sea wolves, rise from the water. They share the same reptilian form but are the size of dolphins. And they begin a coordinated attack on the container. The pack has arrived. The lone hunter was merely a messenger. And now, the hunger of an entire ancient clan is directed at them. This is not a hunt, it is a feast. They work desperately to open the lock. One person uses a metal shard from the wreckage to try and pry the lock, while others use their combined weight to try and turn the stuck lever. The creatures continually lunge from the water, trying to drag them down. This is a war on two fronts. A battle against inanimate steel and a battle against malevolent predators. With every passing second, their chances of survival diminish. They work desperately to open the lock. One person uses a metal shard from the wreckage to try and pry the lock, while others use their combined weight to try and turn the stuck lever. The creatures continually lunge from the water, trying to drag them down. This is a war on two fronts, a battle against inanimate steel and a battle against malevolent predators. With every passing second, their chances of survival diminish. With a metallic groan, they manage to open the container door. Inside, among cargo crates, they find a flare box and an unused, self-inflating life raft. A glimmer of hope appears. Fate sometimes has a twisted sense of humor. In the middle of the ocean, inside a steel prison, they have found the key to a fragile escape. Their relief is short-lived. The alpha monster, the one that destroyed their yacht, returns. It is far larger than the pack, and it slams into the container with terrifying force, attempting to capsize it. The sovereign has returned, drawn by the struggle of its prey. It is not content to let its pack merely play. It wants to end it. The container door bursts open. Maya, who was nearest, loses her balance and slides out. She clings desperately to the edge of the doorway as the alpha opens its jaws directly below her. Liam, despite his injured leg, lunges forward and pulls her back inside at the last second in the fight for survival. Friendship is not a feeling. It is an action, a reflex, a lifeline stronger than fear itself. Kai realizes they cannot stay. He outlines a desperate plan. Use the life raft to escape while someone else fires a flare in the opposite direction to distract the smaller pack creatures. It is a life or death gamble. The logic of survival sometimes defies all logic. When faced with certain death, insanity becomes reason. A single light in the night. One final gamble. The plan is set in motion, while Kai and the others push the inflated raft out of the container. Zoe climbs onto the roof, aims the flare gun at the night sky, and pulls the trigger. A shot in the dark, not an act of aggression, but a prayer made of fire. A desperate attempt to deceive the hungry eyes in the darkness. With the pack distracted, the group scrambles onto the life raft, but the alpha is not fooled. It turns, its massive eyes locked on the fragile raft, and begins a deadly pursuit. Ancient intelligence is not so easily fooled by simple tricks. It knows the difference between false light and the true pulse of life. The chase is now one-on-one, the ruler and those who dared to flee. The alpha has caught up. It surfaces right next to the raft, towering over it like a small building. It opens its colossal jaws, ready to swallow the raft and its occupants whole. All seems lost. This is the moment of truth, the moment when human speed, intelligence, and courage come face to face with primeval power. Is this the end of the line? Just as the jaws are about to close, Kai, with a chilling calmness, aims the last flare gun not at the sky, but straight into the monster's giant mouth. He's not signaling, he's attacking. When all hope is extinguished, the most primitive instinct arises, not to flee, but to fight, using fire against darkness, using a tiny spark to confront the abyss. A pop sound echoes, and the bright red flare flies straight into the monster's throat. It doesn't explode immediately, but the blinding magnesium light begins to burn from the inside, creating a horrific spectacle. Fire, the ancient enemy of all creatures, attack from within, a pain its ancient mind has never known. Its rage is now replaced by something else, panic. The monster, in agony and blindness, thrashes wildly, creating enormous waves. The life raft is lifted high into the air and then dropped, repeatedly submerged in the chaotic water. The death throes of a god can destroy the world around it. Now, they are no longer fighting the monster, but the ocean itself, churned into a frenzy by its final rage. Gradually, the monster's roars fade, and it sinks into the abyss, leaving behind a terrifying silence. As the last waves subside, in the faint light of dawn, they see a dark silhouette on the horizon. Not land, but an abandoned oil rig. After the storm comes the quiet. After the monster's death comes life. And on the horizon, not the end of the journey, but a new stage, a fortress of steel in the middle of the ocean. They use their remaining strength to paddle towards the rig, but they are not alone. The glowing eyes of the pack, having lost their alpha, now refocus on them. The race begins anew. A pack without a leader is still a pack. Their hunger is not diminished. A fortress ahead, and a hungry army behind. The final race for life. They reach the base of the rig. It's a labyrinth of rusted steel and barnacles. They begin the treacherous climb up the lattice structure, just as the first creatures of the pack arrive and begin lunging from the water. From the sea to the sky, a vertical escape. Every rung is a victory. Every slippery metal bar an invitation from death. The pack realizes they cannot grab them. They change tactics, starting to use their collective strength to ram the support pillars of the rig, shaking the entire structure. If you cannot pull the prey down, destroy their sanctuary. The pack's intelligence, though primitive, is brutally effective at sowing destruction. They reach the main deck of the rig, a ghostly world of silent machinery and rusted metal. Amidst the decay, Kai finds the control room. Though mostly destroyed, an emergency radio system on a backup battery appears to be intact. Civilization abandoned this place long ago. But its echoes remain, a chance to reconnect with the world they lost. One last signal from the edge of existence. Fire against fire, human rage against monster rage, a fiery sacrifice to end the hunt, turning the hunter into a pyre for their survival.
From Sector Gamma, is anyone there?
Kai.
A brilliant dawn. The rig is on fire, but they are safe, exhausted, wounded, but alive. They look at each other. In the clear sky, a black dot appears, the sound of helicopter blades growing steadily louder. Rescue has arrived. They went to the depths of hell and back. They faced the monsters of the abyss, and the monsters within themselves. They didn't just survive, they won, and the ocean, once again, hides its secrets beneath a peaceful veneer.